Green light.
Hallelujah! All my New South Empire, wonderful and fantastic fun, Queens, Things, and Starman Films Global Family of Winners. It's your winner, Fit You Sergio Fevers Huff. I want to say thanks for being viewers on the Winners Podcast. We have my co-host, Miss Courtney Green, to the top left, y'all. Then we got Lyric Ethu, and we got Samuel Blue. These guys are some researchers, analysts, strategists, and they are winners, of course. I only have winners on my show, on our show.
Well, everyone, we're just going to take a minute. Oh, yeah, we lost him. Oh, never mind.
I don't know what happened. We got some technical difficulties. But anyway, can y'all hear me? Everybody can hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear.
All right, we're back. I hope y'all heard the first part. I'm gonna start where I got cut off at. It said something went wrong. It said oops, and it said try again. So I hit the button. We tried again. Anyway, I want to send a shout out to our sponsors, Doja, Vineyard. Right there you go. That's the moonshine. This is that Tonio Armani. We got 10 different flavors. We have 77 celebrity artists from King George to we working on 803 Fresh. We got Adrian Badger, Kurt the Countryman, Squirt Kelly, many guys. All right, this is the hard apple pie moonshine. It's distilled at Doja Vineyard. We also had a vodka. Also, we have the wine. We have the brandy and whiskey coming also. I want to send a shout out to our other sponsor. I lost the cover for it, but Lit Sticks by Rashid Myers, Team Collective. And I also, Sawyer, I got a little special extra treat. I want to let the world know about the Huffs. Go ahead and play that first 15-second clip. Booking cast the wonderful and fantastic fun Huffs, Courtney and Fitzhugh, to take a role in your movie, promote your business, make an appearance on your podcast, host your event. We stay ready so we don't have to get ready. That is not cooperating with us today. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I think we're going to blame it on ice. Let's blame it on ice. But anyway, Courtney and I, we're doing a tour. And we're getting people to book us as a team to host their events, make appearances on their podcast, doing meet and greets, making appearances at their event, being cast in their videos and movies, and it's doing us some justice. Matter of fact, we want to invite y'all to put those other flyers up, Sawyer, if you don't mind. It is Courtney's birthday coming up.
I'll be 16. My birthday, that's right. My birthday is Monday, June 16th.
Post that stuff because every time we try to do that, anyway, that's some of our tour dates right there. Pretty soon we'll figure out how to get it larger because you can't. I know y'all can't see that. I can't see it with these bifocals I got on. But anyway, that's our tour dates or some of the events. And it's Courtney's birthday coming up on the 16th of this month, which is a Monday. But Friday we'll be at Venom. We're having a meet and greet session there, celebrating her birthday at Venom, downtown Raleigh. And then Saturday we'll be at Terminal 8. You got those flyers ready? I'm scared to ask for them because every time we try to switch something up, I get booted up. When they say boots on the ground, they don't mean boot me out. But anyway, moving right along. Let's get to the meat of the subject. I guess the first topic we're going to talk about which is a very, very interesting topic. And I never really thought about this before. This is family law, and it's about the family law being repealed. Something about mandatory DNA at birth in order to even be placed on the birth certificate. I'm going to sit back on this one And I'm gonna let the brainiac Samuel Blue initiate the conversation. What are they talking about, Samuel, with this conversation? First of all, I want to invite the subscribers to interject, even join, leave their comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Go ahead, Samuel.
Well, there's been a lot of conversations about family law being repealed or updated because it's about, I believe, 50, 60 years old. So basically, they did a study and found out that between married couples, 30% of the births were not the husband, and where they had no knowledge of it. So I think 30%, that's 30 out of 100. So
Mm.
there's a lot of, it's been brought to light because one of the NBA players, ex-NBA player, Doug Christie, he found out that his daughter, I believe she's 28 now, was not his daughter. It was the daughter of one of his teammates, Chris Webber. So he took them to court. He did a DNA test. He took them to court, and it did say that paternity was Chris Webber, and Chris Webber said, yeah, it was. But he sued them both for falsifying. It was some other things, but he got about $5 million that he won in a lawsuit against her, and where she had to pay half and Chris Webber had to pay the other half. And it brought to light a lot of discussions about the child support system, that there's been some men that was taking care of a child and they thought the child was theirs. And then when they did a DNA test when the child was 16, 17, or even 18, they found out that the child wasn't there. So if the child, there's a young man, he was 14 years old. So the father, and they separated and divorced. And the mother took him to child support to keep paying. And even though in the court documents it showed that he wasn't a father, but he thought he was, that he still had to continue paying child support.
Mm.
So those are the laws, I think, that's in discussion now, especially after Doug Christie, his situation. And a lot of women happen to be pushing back on it because, I think it's one of those accountability issues. So why would you want to push back? But they're saying that it's a violation of their body or things like that. But when the baby comes out of you, it's no longer your body. And I think that's a good thing that should be done is at birth, when you're issued a social security card, if there's going to be a male on that birth certificate, a paternity test should be done. If not a paternity test, that man needs to sign some type of affidavit or document stating that no matter what, he's going to take care of that child, almost the same as if somebody adopts a child. If somebody adopts a child and they decide, okay, we don't work out, that man, because he adopted that child, should be liable for that child, because when he did that adoption, he was claiming that child. So it's almost like a marriage. You guys are getting married. So when you marry somebody, it's the person, it's their credit, it's you're marrying everything. So I just think they need to start. They're going to look more into repealing it, and I think that's something that a lot of people will support.
Okay, so what you telling me now, the way it stands, if you're on that birth certificate as the father, and later on you find out that you're not the father, you're still responsible for child support. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with the repeal, that would be reversed.
Yes.
Okay.
Or not reverse. You would be able to sue like Doug Christie just sued.
You'll be
Because
able to sue.
Like he sued for $205,000 for a Sweet 16 party for the daughter. He sued for private school. He sued for like everything that he paid. And I think that's why Chris Webber ended up paying the other half, because that's for a lot of the things that, um, are in circle. But the daughter is on the side of her, Doug Christie. She's like, Chris Webber is not my father. You, my father. So she's doesn't talk to the mother anymore, because she's like, you didn't just betray my father, you betrayed me too. So I just think it's something that needs to be, is long overdue with being repealed. And I'm shocked that a lot of, I don't hear that a whole lot of people talking about it.
Okay, I have seen where a lot of certificates are empty as far where the father is. Okay, where the spot is where the father. So now, if if the woman has the father, suspected father, up for child support, and he is deemed the father, then they can go far back as to the birth to retrieve child support. So I find that to be a conflict of interest. And if you do do the right thing by thinking you're the paternal, you're the father, and you do the right thing and sign it and find out that you're not the father and you still have to pay, that's sort of like double jeopardy. Do you have any thoughts on this, Courtney? Any feelings or thoughts about this?
Well, I think it's a great idea to definitely look into changing some of the laws that may have been in place all this time, because people just do not honor things anymore. They don't honor, a husband and a wife and getting married and then having children. Then with you having so many younger people just, having children and just not knowing really who the dad is, and whoever the best candidate is, that's who gets chose. And I know if the shoe was on the other foot and us as women, I know we wouldn't want to be in that position. Um, one thing I had learned, I had just went through a divorce, and hadn't been divorced long enough to be able to put my son's father on the birth certificate. Because you had to be divorced a certain amount of time before they would not put that husband's name still up there. I didn't even know that. So I didn't get to put my child's father's name up there. And there's situations where you put the father's name up there and he has rights and things like that. And I mean, it's a lot. That birth certificate is like we were talking about a marriage certificate. It's not just a piece of paper. It holds a lot of weight. And the last thing I kind of want to add about it, I think like when I got, down and I had to have surgery and stuff like that and just never had been sick before, I think it was really sad that I didn't know my history, my DNA history with my family, to know what type of diseases or ailments that they had over the years. And it would have been nice to know that. And when you are signing some man up on a birth certificate for a child that doesn't even belong to them, when health issues and stuff come up, that's when it really hits home, because the DNA is not matching up. You don't even know
Wow.
the family
Right.
history and the ailments. So that's the part that plays in for me. Not so much the money or the child support, but family history, knowing your history, whether it be medical or who you're really related to. And now you're dating your cousin and you didn't know that was your daddy. So if something can help that cycle to stop, I'm for it.
You know what? That is very pertinent and important. Pertinent and important. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it is very important to know who the biological parents are due to uh hereditary uh illnesses and stuff like that. Yeah, that's a very, very good point, Courtney. Lyric, was you able to hear what we were talking about? Earth to California. Lyric, lyric.
You muted my mic. You forgot to unmute me.
Okay, there you go. All right.
But yeah, I'm very much in agreement with Courtney because yeah, it would save a lot of heartache, a lot of different issues that arise from that. Like because let's just face it, everybody's not honest and on the up and up, and some people are just looking for a come up or whatever the case may be, or nobody wants to have a baby and not have a dad. It's all different reasons why women do what they do when it comes to their kids and DNA and daddies and all that craziness. But yeah, I think it would cut out a lot of heartache and headache that a lot of men and women go through.
Yeah, you're right, right. I'm glad you said men and women. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely men, because y'all have it the hardest. I'm not an advocate of child support or any of that crap. Like, for real, I've raised every last one of my kids with no child support.
Me too.
If you did for your child, you did for your child. But I wasn't going to be the one that was going to run downtown and make some white man make you do what you're supposed to do. I just wasn't going to do that, and I didn't.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But everybody's not built like me. In hindsight, I wish that I had went and filed for abandonment. I wish I had done that, but at the time I didn't know. So I didn't get support from anyone except for my last child's father, and he took care of all my kids. My kids are grown now. His daughter is 18, but my sons can still call him right now today and say, I need such and such, or can you help me? And he's still gonna be there for him. So I didn't really experience the deadbeat dad type situation thing going on, for an extended period of time. I always made a way.
I want to invite the viewers to, come on in, chime in. Feel free. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. The subscribers that have subscribed already, feel free to comment. Matter of fact, I can have the engineer post the link again, and you could join us. Two of our guests have a different situation where they can't be on, so we got room for you. Just come on in, ask any question you like. It doesn't have to be what we're talking about. We can divert and come back. Anyway, I think we cover. Anybody else got something else they want to say about that topic? But that's very interesting. Oh, Sam, briefly, how close do you think that law will be in effect? That mandatory DNA testing.
Oh, it'll probably never happen in my lifetime, because there's a lot of people that don't want it. They don't want the accountability.
I would want to know. That's me though.
Let's say if you're a female and you're cheating on your husband and you get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
By your side dude. You
Right.
don't want them to do an automatic DNA test, because it's a lot of people. Remember, I said 30% of married folks are the man doesn't know that child is his.
Wow.
So you got that 30% that's pushing against that.
Right, and it's 12 women to each man. So yeah, that won't be in our lifetime. Correct. All right, moving right along. Woo, let's go. Moving right along. This question has A, B, and C to it. All right. Was the election rigged? Can the election be rigged? And who has rigged the election? Let's see. Let's start with question A. Has any elections been rigged? Let's do a round robin. Lyric,
Yes.
which one you say has been rigged?
Oh, definitely the 2024.
Are you
Possibly
serious right
even
now?
2020.
Are you serious right now? So you telling me the Giggler and the Quaker needed rigging to lose?
What?
Now it's just convenient for you to disappear. Come on, Lyric, come on back now. Until she come back, Samuel, has an election of your knowledge ever been rigged?
I think just about all of them had. Whether it changed the outcome of it is the question. But anytime you have human hands involved, it is always, I believe, just about everyone, whether county, district, city council, everyone has that. I think people have done that because they want their person to win. But as far as it changing the outcome, like the 2020, I think it was rigged, but I don't think it changed the outcome. I still think, regardless of it being rigged, that Biden was still going to win in 2020.
Okay, so what are ways that other than bots, what are ways that you think an election can be rigged?
I'll stay away from the digital, but people not authorized to vote voting, illegal immigrants voting. Um, and some people say, well, it's illegal to vote. Yes, it is. But when you have certain states that have laws that they're able to get their driver license, and when you go in and get issued your driver license, they ask you one question, even when you renew: do you have, are you registered to vote? And you can say no, or you can say yes, and it's not going to change the issuance of your license. But they've already found at least 2,500 people here in North Carolina that were just had an ITIN and they were able to vote in the last election. So
Hold on. ITIN, what's that?
it's it's kind of like your green card, where if you're a citizen, you have Social Security card, and then it's an international tax identification number. That's the type
Okay.
ITIN. It's basically the green card.
Okay. Now, before we play this video clip, okay, Courtney, to me now, I say I know computers make mistakes and all that, and then the man could do anything. Do you feel like any elections has been rigged and that the right president is not in office? Have you ever felt that way before?
I don't know anything about a right president.
I mean, the president that was supposed to win didn't win.
I think everything is rigged in its own way. And I feel that money is the ultimate rig.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's ruling everything, causing everything to do the stock market and what's going to regulate that to be what they need it to be. And whoever needs to sit in that seat for that to be regulated, I feel like that's the rig, and then all the numbers need to try to add up a little bit. But really, at the end of the day, to me, the rigging goes with the money.
Okay. Well, until Lyric comes back, I'm quite sure she will. This week she's in California, so maybe she's having some issue. We're gonna blame that on ICE too. All right. But while she's gone, let's play. Let's play Samuel's video clip. All right. Sawyer, can we have that, please?
When we made this, it was made during my term, my first term, and it was so sad because I said, can you imagine I'm not going to be president? And that's too bad. And then what happened is they rigged the election and I became president. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was quite an achievement for both of us. So I'll be president during the World Cup and during the Olympics, which we were very.
Hold on a second. Did I hear that right? He said, so they rigged the election and I became president. Help
Yep.
me understand that, Samuel.
Basically, he was talking about the World Cup, which is going to be here in 2026.
Right.
And he was talking about the good thing that when he was first advocating for the World Cup to come to the U.S., he actually was talking to the president of FIFA, who was standing next to him in the video. Now, had he won the election in 2024, he wouldn't have been the U.S. president in 2026. So that's why he's saying it's a good thing in hindsight. He's like, they stole the election. So, and then I became the president. So now he's going to be the president during the World Cup and the Olympics. So that's what he's saying was a good thing. But you have a lot of outlets, and they're stating it, not seeing the whole context of what he's talking about. He even said during his first term in president at the beginning of that clip that they was negotiating, and it was during his first term, which was they negotiated in 2017. So that's basically what people are starting to flip right now, and that's why they're going back to saying, hey, he said they rigged the elect. He's trying to say that FIFA rigged the election for him to win in 2024, when FIFA has no sway, no power in U.S. politics.
No, none at all. None at all. I sure wish Lyric wasn't in California. But yeah, that is very okay. Now, to be fair, I'm trying to wait for her to come back in. But to be fair, here she come. Here she come. Okay. Now,
Yeah, I just got released, so I ain't gotta sit here and wait on nobody. But I'm gonna sit here so it won't move.
okay, all right. Okay, now we saved your clip for you
I know
once you
y'all
got back.
did.
Yeah, we had faith that you were gonna come back. Okay,
Of course I would.
we're 27 minutes in. Okay, so we got 33 more minutes. All right. Sawyer, since she's back, do you feel like we should? Okay, was you able to? No, you wasn't able to. Sawyer, I think we should go ahead and do lyrics clip right now, so she can explain her thoughts on what Trump was talking about. Go ahead and play that next
We
clip.
had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup, too. And, you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know, I got both of them. I got the Olympics, and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026, and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup.
Okay, cut. Okay, now lyric. We already got a snippet from Samuel about the verbiage of that. Now, what is your interpretation of that interview?
My interpretation is that it came out of his mouth. He said it, and I can't remember what it was that we were talking about. We were talking about somebody else that said, "Oh, here, Kamala, and she took a stroke of her pen, and she has the right to do whatever." Y'all took that little clip and ran with it and called her every name in the book. But when Trump says something,
Okay,
now
lyric.
Do you see how one-sided y'all are? Do you see how one-sided y'all are?
Lyric. I'm not gonna let you go off the Grand Canyon. Okay, I'm not, because you're my friend.
I'm just pointing out
Okay,
the obvious. I'm just pointing out
okay.
the obvious.
Who was Trump talking about when he said they rigged it? Simple answer. Who was Trump
Only
talking
he
about when he
knows.
said
Only
he
he
was talking
knows,
about?
but only he knows.
He
I'm
was
not Trump.
talking.
I can't answer that. He said it.
He was talking about the
I ain't
left.
say it. He said it.
He was talking about the left rigging it so that he could lose. That
Could I
he'll
ask you?
be that
Could,
he'll be able to win now. See, you got to listen to the whole thing, Lyric. So you're
I
correct.
did listen to the whole thing,
He
and
can
wasn't
we play it
talking
one?
about.
Can we play it one more
nowhere did he
time?
say anything
Can we
about
play it?
any
Can we
of
play
that.
it one more time? So
Hey
lyric
Sawyer,
can
Sawyer, okay. Hey Sawyer, let's play it one more time.
that
Never,
Lyric,
way he
never gonna
can
play with my
hear
mouth
his
lyric,
full.
words.
Like I ain't
lyric.
been
Listen
raised
to
no.
the syllables, not the words. The syllables.
We had our top people, Wasserman. They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny. And we got the World Cup, too. And you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know,
Yeah.
I got both of them. I got the Olympics, and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026, and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup.
All right, thank you,
So,
Sawyer.
John,
Y'all not finna play on my intelligence with that.
Lyric,
Stop.
come on,
Stop.
lyric, lyric, lyric,
Stop.
lyric, lyric. He
Stop.
said that
Stop.
listen. He said that they rigged for him to lose back then.
He didn't say nothing about rigged for him to lose. Nowhere.
He didn't say
Okay,
that. You're
He
right,
did.
lyric.
Yeah, he
No,
didn't say that. So
no.
stop making it. Quit trying to twist it and make it be what you want it to be.
okay,
He said
okay,
what he
okay,
said.
okay, lyric. I can't win with you, but okay.
He
All
said
right,
what he
wait.
said.
Okay,
I mean,
so
why
did
is
what?
it? Wait a minute, wait. Why
But you
is it
gotta do
different when
the
Trump says
timing.
something as opposed to somebody else? If somebody else says something, oh no, that's what they said. But when Trump says it, oh, it's out of context. Why is that with y'all?
I don't
Can we
know
see that?
about y'all, but lyric, ask me if you listen to that exact clip. He says they had already secured the Olympics, right? Wasserman. And then he got his guy Johnny, whoever that person is, to start negotiating the World Cup, and they ended up getting it. He was like, he just said during that statement that, man, it's going to be bad. He said during that statement, we don't hear you, but
It's got something to do. It has to do
we
with
don't
the
hear
weather.
you.
It has to do with the weather. But anyway, we heard it. We heard it. Let's go to the next one because of time restraint. Let's go to the other. What she offered. That's what you offered, right? Sam.
I mean, you can play that clip. It's everywhere.
I know
But
the other one. The other one that I do want to respect hers. So I do want hers played too.
no, the last
Same
clip
thing.
was
The
her
clips
clip.
all saying the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
both of them say the same thing.
They all say the
I
same
just
thing.
wanted, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody heard the words of him saying that he was a little sad because he was not going to be the president in 2026 and 2028. But he said now it's a good thing because he will be the president because they rigged the election in 2020. Because
He
had
didn't
he
say
won,
2020.
could I finish? Had he won the election in
In
2020,
2020.
guess what he wouldn't have been able to do? He wouldn't have been the president in 2026 and 2028. So
Right.
now he was expressing how happy he was, how it's a good thing, because now he can preside over an Olympics and he can preside over a World Cup. There's only 3 presidents in history that have been able to do that.
Yeah, that's sort of like this quiz right here. If you have 3 apples and you take 2, how many apples do you have? You still got 3 because I left out one word, left. I didn't say how many do you have left. I said how many apples do you have? You still got 3. All right. So let's go to the next topic. The next topic is relationships. Sawyer, uh, let's talk about play that play that clip I sent you, Sawyer. And don't get it twisted. This goes both ways. This goes versus men. Once they break up with their girl, they bash the woman. Once the woman break up with the man, they bash the man. Play that clip, please, Sawyer.
And horrible boyfriends and husbands, and he never bought me anything. I was the one paying all the bills. That's not what y'all be saying when y'all are in relationship with these men. But the moment that these men leave because they're tired of your mistreatment, they're tired of your poor character, you're cheating, whatever it is that these women be doing to these men, the moment that these men leave, then y'all want to assassinate these men's character. Now all of a sudden his little. Now all of a sudden he never treated you well. He was verbally abusive. He didn't pay no bills. Watching Remy Ma and Papoose go through this public divorce is really sad because we thought they were the epitome of black love, right? But what's happening right now is what happens in a lot of relationships. Everything is great until you don't get your way. Everything is great until you think that the grass is greener on the other side. And then you get over there and you realize that grass was sod and it was fake. I think that's what's happening. I think Remy Ma thought that she was going to be able to have an amazing life wherever she had been canoodling at. And when she got over there and realized, this ain't what I thought it was, you tried to slide back over there to Papoose. And Papoose said, no, Ma, I'm happy. I done moved on. You had multiple chances. I'm done. And because she can't accept accountability for losing a good man, now she has to paint this man like he wasn't a good man. I believe Papoose. And when I hear a lot of women assassinate the character of the man that just a few months ago they were madly in love with, I fully believe that you did something and now you are regretting your decisions. So instead of you just being like, yeah, I messed that up, you got to make yourself the victim.
Thank you,
When we
Sawyer.
going to stop that?
Thank you, Sawyer. I want to say this too. In the same situation with Cardi B and Offset, you know, people always lyric apologize. She said her phone is glitching. She said that the weather's bad there, and it's just. And she said she's gonna try to keep coming on and coming on. Um, I want to say this too that uh, you know, people do think that the grass is greener on the other side. It may be greener because it may be artificial turf. Okay, I'm like this here. You all these cliches. I'm not with cliches. Cliches are useless to me. Lyric, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, we're talking about. We just did a clip about you know how women and men too. When once they break up with the woman, oh they trash. They got a little penis. They can't lick it good. They not this. They not that. But they've been in a relationship forever. And then once they are not with them, then everything is south. Okay, all right. It's not good.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say
And that goes both ways. That goes both ways. Okay.
it does go
Um,
both ways. But you know,
all right,
when
now.
you break up with somebody, you know it brings out the worst in you because you think about all the stuff that you put up with that person, and so it just spills out. Everything that you've been holding in, it kind of spills out, whether voluntarily or involuntarily.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Now,
We can't hear.
Courtney, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't blame the victim. If it was me, I'll say it. I messed up. I thought the grass was greener or whatever. But I mean, I was agreeing with kind of what Lyric was coming along with what she was saying. You know, when you do go through a breakup initially, you do kind of lash out, you know. But I don't know. I'm different. I'm different. I don't have any relationship that I couldn't And I mean, I hope no one takes this the wrong way, but I don't have a relationship I couldn't go back to. I always gave 110, if not more. And I'm usually the one that ends up with the short end of the stick. So, I usually give my warnings before I'm out, and that way you can't say that I didn't try or I didn't chance after chance. There's nothing to bash other than whatever is
Can you hear
going
me?
on in our relationship that I've expressed. And normally after I'm gone,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Courtney.
like I said, I'm different. I mean, I'm I'm different. I'm special. Anything,
I'm like this. Okay. I am
you know.
My mate is a reflection of me.
Yeah, I
If
don't.
if me and my mate, God forbid, part ways,
I'm not
and
gonna.
I bash her because I'm in my feelings, or expose some idiosyncrasies or the faults that we had, I'm also talking about myself. Because first of all, I put up with it, all right, and I dealt with it, and I settled for it. So
There's no settling here.
right. No. I'm not talking about us, honey. I'm just saying in the past. I'm not gonna bash any woman that I've been with
Get back
because
here.
I put myself in that position, and I'm just as guilty of if I say this woman was horrible in bed or did this to me or did that to me. I put myself in that position. Can't nobody do anything to you but yourself. Now, this is another thing about that too. I've noticed that y'all ever heard somebody say that you need to be friends first? Have y'all ever heard that before? Before? Have y'all ever heard that before?
I've heard
Yep.
that.
All right. Well, you know what I've noticed about that though? If you go into a relationship wanting to be friends first and not having the desire or the goal of a long term lasting relationship, I've noticed that a lot of people get stuck on just being friends and just end up being freaking partners for the rest of their life. And that's where it stays. But if you go into a relation, this is my personal experience. No. My new personal experience. Going into a relationship, fuck a relationship, a relationship with the goal of making that person your everlasting, eternal matrimony, forever lasting ending situation, then that friendship is going to evolve. That relationship's going to evolve. But if I go into it with a friendship, how I know it might not get stagnant and be right there as just a friend? I don't need no friends. Oh, a lot of my friends owe me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no more friend. I want a wife, and I got that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my goal is, not a friendship. My fiance is my best friend already, and we're growing and we're growing and growing. I'm learning so much since March 22nd. I've always been a winner. And I'm not bragging, that's my testimony. Where I come from, that's a testimony, it's not bragging. But I have never been winning as much as I've been winning since March 22nd, 2025. Straight like that. And through my winning, I'm learning. I'm 64 and I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning a lot. And I learned that if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you still be amongst the stars. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I
Right.
feel right now. I've seen so many people go into a relationship talking about, oh, you gotta be friends first. Oh, you gotta date. Oh, you gotta court. Oh, you gotta do all this traditional bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And then it going in the wind like Clark Gable. Oh, you get stuck right there with that friendship shit. No, I'm shooting for the moon. Just in case I miss, I'll still be amongst the stars. And what with that being said is I this time around I seek matrimony forever to the day I die. And that came with my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm a different breed or whatever, but I got a different attitude. Anybody else got anything else they want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you with that. Because like I was saying before, when somebody breaks up, when you break up with somebody and it gets ugly, like to the point where you're talking about them and all of that other stuff, that ain't nothing but hurt and thinking about the time you wasted and the pain and all of that good stuff. Me myself, I'm a little more mature than that. You got to really take me down through there and do something like try to steal my money or something for me to talk about you publicly. But more than likely, I'm just gonna walk away. But if I tell you you got a little penis, it's probably because you had a little penis, and I put up with it because I
Well, you
like
know,
you like
you
that,
steal
and
my
that's
money. I
definitely
ain't
the
telling
case.
nobody you stole my money because that's stupidness on me. You know, I ain't telling nobody you stole my money. No, but go ahead.
Hey, it's some crafty folks out here. There's some crafty folks out here.
But I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this. So another thing. Okay, like this friend thing. Have you experienced any of your friends with this friendship stuff, and then now that's where they at? They stuck just being friends or freaking fucking partners, and that's it. And
No,
friends with
I don't.
benefits.
I don't have no just fucking freaking partners. I don't
I ain't
have any of
talking about
those.
you. I ain't talking about you. Yeah.
I, I'm just. I mean, okay, so I can only talk about life from my perspective as I see it,
Right.
and I don't have those. I don't freak on my friends. And if you my friend and I put you in the friend zone as a friend, that's where you will stay because that's what I saw in you as a friend. And I wouldn't want to ruin you as a person or a friend with my mess because I'm a messy person sometimes. You know, I'm grown now, but being real, when I was forming my friendships and the men that I wanted to keep as friends, it was because of they weren't what it was that I was dating. It was because they were my friend and I actually genuinely cared about them as opposed to the guys that I was seeing, which was just for fun or for money or for whatever status or whatever the case may have been at that time. My friends and who I date were different sets of people. So my friends could never be somebody that I could sleep with or date because I wouldn't
Okay.
want to ruin them
Let
like
me.
that.
You know what? You know what? Let me word it a little bit differently. Okay. Now, say if I'm interested in a woman. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna go into that relationship with like maybe I should just be her friend first. Okay, because first of all, my time is valuable, and I would think hers is too. Okay,
Right,
so I'm not gonna even like be interested in a woman for her to just to be my friend. If I'm interested in you, I want I want more than just a friendship. You feel what I'm saying? I
right,
would want, yeah, okay. That's my perspective on it. Okay, the friendship will come along because I'm
right.
gonna put
As we
them
go along.
right as you go along. But the community, you know, maybe we should be just friends first. Okay, maybe we should be friends first, and then it leads on to freakiness and all of this stuff. And then
Yeah, nah.
I have seen so many people get stuck in that friend with benefit shit. Courtney, honey, what's your take on that?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I go into it with a friendship status in mind, and maybe it will develop into more. If I'm allowing you in my space like that, and I'm giving you an opportunity to get to know me on another level, like you said, friendship is gonna come, and we'll get tight and we'll be able to share secrets and be able to, do things with each other that we wouldn't do with anyone else but our best friend, that we have now joined together to be. I don't use that word. I don't have friends. I mean, you can attest to that. I don't have any friends. Like I really don't. Associates, people who I provide services to, whether it be hair or people I deal with in business, but I don't have friends, and I definitely don't have male friends. So, the only friend that I can truly have are my children and my husband. I don't date people with friendship with benefits in mind and hope it goes somewhere. And if it doesn't, well, I never said
Right.
we're dating. We're just friends.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
waste of
that's what
time.
I'm saying.
Women, we use that to, be able to have a scapegoat. Well,
Right.
yeah, I told you we were just friends. But we slept together. We go out to do this and we do that. Yeah, but I never really saw you in that way. And if a woman isn't honest up front, a man is going to be thinking that he's courting this woman for something way more than a friendship. So I never go into a relationship as a friend first. I've never done that. No
Mm,
one ever met me or spent time with me wants to be my friend. They want me. So I don't do the friend thing.
Right. If I
yeah,
see you, if
I
I
got
see you, I know what it's gonna be.
no, no. I got associate. I got associate, right?
I'm just
And he's really crazy about this woman, right? Okay, and he wants to take it to the next level. Now they've had sexual relations and everything, all right, and now he's been assisting her and everything, and then when he said he asked her for a specific adventure and asked her, would they make this relationship committed? And she told him straight blank, "Oh no, we just friends." And this is like what he said. This been a year and a half, but he like, "Oh, we wasn't just friends when you was asking for this and when you was needing that and all of this and that. So now all of a sudden we just friends." So I don't know why these Negroes come to me for advice when I'm really this is my first time ever being in love in my whole entire life. Oh, y'all coming to the wrong window. Y'all
he
coming
said
to
you're
the
not the
wrong
one to
window
ask that.
asking me for advice. Because I'll tell her to kick rocks with no socks and flip flops. All right. Samuel Blue. What's your take on that? Friend first.
Well, I think everybody is different. Me and my wife, we were definitely friends first. Um, for a long time, but we also like you guys did, you, you went about your lives, you lifed, and then somebody saw where y'all needed to be back together or, be in the same circle. So I just think everybody is different. I do believe in that because there are some people who they may not have the discipline and then instead of falling in love, they fall in lust. And there are some people that can handle that and there's some people that can't. But I just think that you know, either way, if you communicate, you don't have to run into. Um, I just know this: like, if you're a female and you break up with the guy you're with, or if you're a male and you break up with that girl, and you guys are dogging them out, guess what? The people you're talking about them to, they've heard you give that same person all the accolades, all the
Right.
praise, so they understand. Oh, like if a guy vents to me, I'm sitting there, I'm not gonna say nothing. He's just venting. They just broke up. So let him vent. Let me be that ear. And I think it's the same thing on the female side. So, the people that we all just have to mature. Some of us are mature at 18, 19. Some of us it takes till we 40 or 50. But everybody has their own clock. We just need to learn our own, we need to understand our own level of understanding. But you know, when I see the Cardi B stuff and I see all these stuff on TV, you have to remember that's what they have made their life, social
Right.
media.
Right.
So if you like, a lot of people don't know that, like, when you first get married, everybody, it's like in scripture, if you want to go to that. Everybody that is there to witness your marriage is supposed to also be there to witness your divorce. And a lot of people don't know that. Just like everybody calls somebody a goddaughter, I mean a godfather, a godmother, they don't understand that when you label somebody your child's godmother, you're actually supposed to change the will. So if anything happened to you, that godmother assumes those responsibilities. It's not just supposed to be something just to say. You know, there's supposed to be some legal ramifications. So I just think, you know, we all mature differently. And I think that's why we should all have empathy, to kind of understand, you know, we're not all built the same. We all hurt the same though. And, you know, we all are happy the same.
You know, yeah, I concur because everybody don't grow up at the same rate or same age. I didn't grow up really until I was 55. You know, I mean, a lot of people don't know my story, lyric. You do. I didn't grow up until my face was on that ground and all of the machine guns was on my face and the DEA, DEI officers and all the, I mean, DEA officers. Oh, I mean, I really didn't really grow up until that point. And then I really grew up when I met my future wife. I mean, I had the opportunity to unite with my future wife. Okay. With that being said, now I'm not Russian, I'm American. Okay. And what I mean by that is, of course, I want my wife to be my best friend. All right. But I didn't need no friends. I want and needed a wife to nurture, take care of, and to be a protector and a provider for. You know what I'm saying? Those are things I needed. Okay. And when I seen that opportunity, I didn't go into it to get a friend, a best friend. I came into for matrimony, and I knew that was gonna come along the way, along the way. So I'm just saying, with me back in the day, if I was mature enough and wise enough, I would have did so many things differently. And like saying all that old traditional stuff, or oh, you gotta be friends, because I tried that. And if I keep bumping my head in the same spot and expecting a different result, that's insanity. So I went a different mode with it this time. I seen my wife, and that's what I wanted to go for. You know what I'm saying? And we are best of friends right now. We could talk to each other about anything, you know. But and like I said, it works differently for everybody. I didn't want to get stuck in that mode where, oh, we're comfortable with just being together, you know, we're having sex or having fun together. And I've seen so many people get stuck right there. I don't want to be stagnant. I want us to progress. I want me and my wife right there to not have no finish line. You feel me, Samuel? No finish line. This is not a race,
I
you
do.
know? Yeah, yeah. There is no finish line. I want us to keep progressing. And with that being said, I mean, I'm gonna if lyric don't come back, honey, what are your thoughts? You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put you. You know, I don't want to put you on spot, but I want you to put me on spot. Tell the world what your man is not doing right now. I'll give you permission. Tell me. Give it to me. Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Tell me what I need to do better. Everything. This is your time. We got 15 minutes. T-line, producer said we got T-minus 15 minutes. Tell me what your man could do better.
Yeah, it's It's still a growing process. It's still a learning process. Yeah, we've known each other in a friendship way since what, 2013. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we're still learning and developing daily. I mean, we learn something new about each other every time we're together, and a lot of it too is that we're in a long distance relationship. I mean, we're not hours away, but it is a sacrifice to make sure that we can put in the proper channels to be able to make the distance to see each other on a regular basis, to not allow too much space to get there with that friendship stuff does try to creep in. You know what I'm saying? Even with business, trying to balance that, where okay, we're running businesses together, we're being a product, and then we have our real relationship, outside of the Facebook and the other social media platforms. So it's just been a learning experience. I don't have anything to bash you about. I mean, I know I'm a handful, as some people might want to say, because I'm full of so much. God has blessed me with so much. And it takes a very strong yet humble individual to deal with the power that God has put within me. Because when it comes out, it comes out. And I'm here, I'm there, let's do this, let's do that. And I just love it that, like you say, I can keep up with you. No, you keep up with me as well. And we balance each other.
Yeah.
People just trying to learn that respect factor of so many different avenues, because we're on a different level than what most relationships have to deal with at the beginning. I mean, we're already in let's go mode, and we've only been together since March 22nd. I love it, but again, I think you and I have even talked about the fact that how many times have we actually just spent time together, you and I, not the public, not social media, not our phones, not a party, not a get together, just you and I alone, quiet.
We have been working on that. We have been doing better with that. And with that being said, I want to say that I appreciate that how we have learned to basically tune the world out, and that is so so important. Even though you're frozen, Samuel, are you frozen too? I guess I'm not the only one frozen. I feel like Elsa over here. But anyway, I want to give a shout out. I appreciate your company. I appreciate your involvement, and I look forward to kicking it with y'all next week. I want to give another shout out to our sponsor, Doja Vineyard.
Doja.
I want to give a shout out to Lit Sticks CBD and THC. I want to give a shout out to the venue in Raleigh. I want to give a shout out to Venom downtown Raleigh. I want to give a shout out to Luke. I want to give a shout out to Terminal 8 and Sawyer. Appreciate you. My engineer is the dopest. Starman Films Global, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, straight like that. Peace, love, and hair grease. My wifey right there.